Hey everyone, welcome back to the Hollywood Actors Guide to Surviving the Film and Television Industry. This is Jennifer Lynn Warren. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thanksgiving's coming up right around the corner. It is Wednesday when I'm recording it, so it's Thanksgiving Eve. Going to try to get this out today. And I wanted to start with a quote, and it has to do for Thanksgiving because I know a lot of you are going to be either at home with family or traveling back home to see family. And Satchel Paige said, "Work like you don't need the money. Love like you've never been hurt. Dance like nobody's watching." And it's such a beautiful quote, but I wonder if Satchel ever had to go have Thanksgiving with their family and explain to them why having 10 callbacks this year, even though you don't have any bookings, is actually a win and everyone should be excited, instead of telling you that you should have gone to school for marketing or to be a lawyer or whatever boring thing they think that you would be happier at. And I just wanted to just say, you don't owe your family anything. You don't owe your friends anything. You don't owe them any explanation as to where or how you're doing in your career or where you're at. You owe them nothing. And I think as actors, we love talking about our careers. We love talking about the craft. And we want to share that with the people that we love the most, which can be our family members. And many times, and if this is not you, you are so lucky and you should have so much gratitude and you should thank your family if they're supportive. Like really, really thank them because it is rare. But you don't owe them anything. So when you sit down, I know you feel like you want to talk about these things, but if all you ever get is negative stuff, just redirect the conversation. And if you need to be point blank and just say, you know what, guys, I don't feel like you understand the industry and it stresses me out to talk about it. And so I would really rather talk about something else. Thank you. And just move on. And you know your family, say it in whatever way is going to be most gentle for them to hear. And so maybe they do move on, or redirect them into a movie you just saw that you thought was awesome. Like just try to just get off of it because you don't owe them anything. You don't need to have a miserable Thanksgiving. Just move it on, guys. You don't owe your family anything. Los Angeles can be a fun, weird place to be. And I just wanted to share something that happened to me when I first came to LA. And it was in November. Oh gosh, I can't even remember what year it is. I want to say it was like 2009, 2010. And here's the good thing and the bad thing about it. I saw a casting notice for a game show and I saw that it wasn't going to be airing. So I was like, well, great. So I can get paid to be on a game show. It's not going to air. And the whole thing, it was called Catch. Like their pitch to me in the audition room, they were throwing strawberries at us and we were just trying to catch them with our mouths. They were wearing gloves. They were being hygienic about it. But they made it seem like it was going to be the most simple thing in the whole world. And here's the really cool thing about game shows that have any sort of physical activity here in Los Angeles is that if it's going to sound so crazy, but I'm going to let you in on this little secret. If you need to go see a doctor and you need a physical and you would like one for free, go book a game show because they will give you a whole physical. They give you a stress test. They check your blood work. I mean, these guys do everything and then they give you the results, and they're with like some of the best doctors in Los Angeles because, the insurance requires it. So the great thing is that I got a full physical. It was completely free. I was on top of the world. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go make I think it was $500 a day to do this game show, which was a lot of money to me at the time. And I get to set, and it's being filmed up where they used to do, what was that? Wipeout. Up where they were filming Wipeout. We were right near that set. Day one was awesome. They literally threw stuffed pigs from out of a helicopter. They dropped like 20 stuffed pigs or 30 stuffed pigs. And if you caught the pig and it didn't touch the ground and then you touched like this part of the circle, you got to proceed to day 2. That was a lot of fun. So I caught the pig, touched my circle. I'm proceeding to day 2. Super cool. the next day, we started at like 5, 6 a.m. And the desert here in California is freezing in the wintertime. And I think, everyone thinks, oh, well, it's the desert. It's going to be hot. It's not always hot. It was so cold, everyone. And they were having us catch apples. And then we had baskets on our back. And we had to take the apple and put it in the basket on our back when we catch it. Well, they thought it would be a really good idea to hire professional baseball pitchers to pitch these apples. And not only were they professional baseball players, we did not have any like mitts. We were catching them with our bare hands. And we were told to yell at the pitchers, like, is that all you got? Blah, blah, blah. And so, I'm playing along, and like the second or third apple I go to catch, like it goes right into my thumb and it fractured my thumb. I didn't know it was a fracture at that time because I was so cold. Like I could cry. Actually, I did. Like in between doing things, I was like in the tent crying. There was a stunt coordinator and a medical person on set. I told the medical guy, I was like, hey, there's something wrong with my thumb. He just wrapped it up in some bandage and was like, you're good to go. Like not even a real wrap. It was like really loose gauze. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. At the end of the day, the stunt coordinator was like, hey, you're using your hand really weird. Like what's going on? And it's like, I heard it. I told him the story and he was like, I cannot believe they still had you play. Because not only had I fractured my thumb, I had signed a waiver that said that they are not liable for anything medical that happened on that set. And the second game they had us do was like in a pool where they were spraying us with fire hoses while we were trying to catch things with nets. And it is the closest I can imagine what being waterboarded feels like. And I tell you this story not for you to be like, oh, poor you or whatever. And obviously this game show never happened because it was dangerous. They ended up stopping. Like we didn't do the last thing because so many people had gotten injured and were hurt and were miserable, and we couldn't even pretend to be happy anymore. But if you do plan on coming to Los Angeles, it's so tempting to take on these jobs that seem like easy money or seem like fun. But I just wanted to tell you this as a cautionary tale that you should always vet everything that you're going to do. The people on Wipeout, that a lot of people got hurt, and those are like extreme athletes that actually, make it on the show and are able to do it. But if you think it's like things like that are going to be easy money, and yeah, it was great to get a free physical, but maybe drop out afterwards or just not play to the point where you're going to, quote, try to win, because if you get hurt, they are not liable. So it's a little cautionary Los Angeles tale. This last little bit is for those of you in small markets. I had someone who is an acquaintance recently who is in a very, very small town in Louisiana. They have a local company that they really love, that they always shop their products, and this company did not have any commercials. And so they went and shot their own spec commercial for this business. So they shot it themselves, they wrote the script, they starred in it, and then they took this commercial to this little mom and pop store and was like, hey, you should have a commercial, on the internet or on TV. And I already shot it, and they showed it to them and they loved it, and they worked out a deal. They got paid for the commercial. It was non-union. It's a little harder to do a spec commercial union. Definitely check with the union on how to do that. But this person literally made their own work. And it got me thinking, for those of you who really want to break into commercials or you're looking to get your face out there, even if you're in a big market, there are all these like small brands that are popping up here and there that are trying to get seen. And even if like an LA actor shot something and was like, hey, look at this thing I did for your product, especially if it's funny, funny tends to sell these days. It's like the hot commodity in the commercial world. If you're creative like that it's something that you could do and pitch it to the company, put a watermark on it so they can't steal it, right? Show it to them, be like, hey, this is a great commercial. And if they love it, you never know. You may have just booked yourself a commercial. You work out the contract, you get paid. Now you've got a little bit of credit if you're trying to get a commercial agent or you're trying to break into the commercial world. So I thought that was a really cool, smart thing that they did, and I wanted to pass that along to you. So thank you very much for listening, everyone. I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you take my advice, and it's none of anybody's business where you're at. So, put yourself forward. You in your happiness, if you can't take care of yourself and, keep your happiness close to home, you can't take care of anyone else, and you can't take care of your career. So take care of yourself first. So break a leg out there, guys, and remember, you are not alone.